Here's my unorthodox content strategy that's earning me about $540 a day selling silly little PDFs on the internet. So I have a lot of people ask me about how I create content, and I'll be making several of these videos over time, on how to create content. Because the two biggest problems my audience face is the fear of judgment, the opinions of others, that's the biggest one. And then the second one is how to create content. So I talk about those problems a lot. And I will talk about them a lot on this YouTube channel. So I take, it's not really a different approach, I guess it is different, but I document what I'm doing. Like that's literally it. Like I'll link down my Threads account right down below. I do a better job on Threads than I do on Instagram, but I basically just go do shit in my business, and then I share what I'm doing. And then I update, my audience, my community with like how things are going. For example, I launched ads. So Threads, you can now run ads on the Threads platform. And so I launched ads on, I think, Tuesday of this week. It was Tuesday or Wednesday, or last week, I guess I should say. And I said, hey, I launched my first Threads ad today, a couple of them. And I just update. Then on Friday, I posted, or Saturday it was a Threads ads update. And I said, hey, I spent $80. I haven't made any sales. And then I share a lesson or a takeaway. And I said, but for $80, I got in front of 19,000 people. And I said, a lot of people when running ads, they forget the whole branding benefit. There's a benefit. I'm not mad about paying $80 to get in front of almost 20,000 people. They see my face, they see my name, So again, we want to make sales with ads, obviously, but I was just sharing my takeaway, and I wasn't embarrassed by I didn't have all these sales. I was just documenting what I'm doing, and I started running ads in November 26th of last year. And I just documented what I was doing. I was like, hey, I launched my first Facebook ad today. And then I would update, hey, I lost $73 today or yesterday, hey, I made $112 today, whatever. I just was documenting it. And that first month, I was in the red far more than I was in the black. And I shared that. I didn't share every single day, but I was giving them updates of what I was doing, things I was doing. By mid-December, 3 weeks into running ads, I had people in my DMs asking for a coaching program, asking for a guide, a training, a PDF, some type of help with ads. And I was like 3 weeks into it. And it wasn't even like profitable. I was maybe barely profitable at that time. But they saw the progression, and they saw within 3 weeks, I was getting better. I wasn't losing as much money. I was profitable more days than I was 3 weeks prior. And people really appreciate that. So documenting your journey, again, I go do things. Another example, a super random example, I wear this weight vest, and a lot of my videos are talking head videos just like this, whether it's on Instagram or whether it's on YouTube's. And I have this vest on, and I talk about, sometimes I'll post over on Instagram me jumping rope, and I'll share pictures of like my food. I eat 10 eggs a day. I eat the same thing for lunch and dinner. I don't eat breakfast. 5 eggs, a quarter pound of ground beef, and 2 pieces of bacon. I put it in a bowl and I eat it. And then I eat raspberries, blueberries, and strawberries. That's pretty much all I eat. And I will take little pictures of that, and I'll document and share my weight loss journey. Hey, I lost, I'm down 6 pounds, or I'm down 4 pounds. It's not a fitness channel. I have people in my DMs asking what scale I use, how I go grocery shopping, how I don't eat breakfast, what vest this is, all kinds of like fitness questions. Now, I'm not saying I get hammered with those questions, but I bet you I've gotten a dozen or so in the last couple of months. I'm not this fitness expert. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. So I kind of do that for a couple of reasons. One, it holds me accountable, but number two, it's to prove my point that you can just document your journey, and you don't have to share everything. Like some people are like, oh, I don't want to share my whole personal life, and you don't have to. I'm not saying that, but maybe you're a parent and you're trying to become a better parent. Maybe you're trying to get your kids off the iPads, reduce screen time, and maybe you start trying some different tricks and things like that. We're doing this at our house, and you start sharing that with other parents. Hey, we've been doing this. We've been doing family game night. We've been doing, the family takes a walk every morning, or or afternoon or after dinner, something like that, and just share little tips and tricks on how you are helping kids reduce screen time. So it doesn't apply just to like this make money online niche. It applies literally to everything you do. Just start sharing what you're doing and sharing what you're learning and sharing the good and the bad. I've had several people comment, they're like, you share more failures than any entrepreneur I know. And I take that, I was like, that's awesome, you know, because I have a lot of failures. I fail far more times than I succeed. You know, and I don't get like butt hurt by it, or like I don't like, it doesn't hurt my pride and ego. Like if someone's like, oh, he's not an expert, you know, he's fucking losing money some days with ads. I lose money days. I don't care. Like I don't care what, if you're not going to buy because you think that, you know. I find people do buy because of that, you know. I don't blow sunshine and rainbows. I've gotten a lot of comments on YouTube just this week alone, or last week alone, I should say. Today's Memorial Day, so last week. A lot of people really appreciate my style. They like this talking head. They like this one take. They've complimented me on keeping it super simple, right to the point, sharing the good and the bad. People like that shit. You know, they appreciate it because so many other people out there, it doesn't matter the niche, is selling the sunshine and rainbows, the pretty dream that everything's working all the time. You know, I have conversations with people, I promise you see their ads all over social media, and we share the same struggles, you know? It's like, so being honest and open and transparent, it helps you, it holds you accountable, but people really appreciate it. Now, when I'm creating content on social media, I don't like overthink my hooks, and I don't sit down and go, I gotta write a hook to catch the best attention. My hooks aren't that good, and my videos don't go viral. But my videos are like, especially on like Instagram, I make those videos for my community. You know, it's not to go viral. You know, some videos, yes, they're designed to get more views, you know, but my talking head videos like this, I don't like sit down and like script out 8 different hooks. I probably could, and they would get more views, and maybe I could help more people, and maybe I could make more money, sure. But that doesn't sound fun to me, you know? So most of my hooks is I just hit record, and I usually start with I did this, I did that, I discovered this, I fucked up here, I tried this. You know, another example, I've been talking about creating more talking head videos lately. With all the people with AI content, I've just seen so many, the written word is written by ChatGPT on social media. And I see a lot of people commenting, using AI to comment. It's like, you're using AI to comment on a post that was written by AI. So like social media has turned into human to human talking. It's like AI to AI talking. And so I've been talking the last couple of weeks, like I'm really doubling down on talking head videos like this. First, one, I enjoy doing them. I have fun doing talking head videos. But number 2, it's gonna help me stand out like a fart in the library, you know, because everybody's going goo goo gaga over this AI, so I'm zigging while everybody else is zagging. Now, don't take this as I'm anti-AI or don't use AI. I don't mean it like that. Don't use AI to think for yourself. You know, come up with your own fucking thoughts. And I feel a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, I see people starting to outsource their thinking to ChatGPT. And that is absolutely terrifying. Terrifying to me at least, you know? And it's a slippery slope. And I'm just noticing it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start doubling down on this talking head video. So I've been very open on my social media. I said, starting Monday, today, Memorial Day, I'm gonna walk around our neighborhood. It's a 45-minute walk, and I'm gonna record one YouTube video. It's gonna be 5 to 20 minutes in length. It's gonna be on a topic, an idea, a thought, a perspective, a case study, a testimonial, a lesson learned, a mistake made, whatever, you know, in my business. And I'm just gonna riff for, like I said, 5 to 15 minutes. I don't have a script. I might have some notes on my phone, you know, here and there. I might, you know, pull up my phone for some notes, you know, but most of it's just gonna be off the top of my head. And the reason I'm doing this is because of the last week, I've gotten over a dozen comments from people here on the YouTubes complimenting me on my video style and how much they appreciate it. So it's like, and I'm also making a whole lot more sales from YouTube because I track all my links. And so I was like, okay, I gotta lean into that more. These people are really liking this style video, this raw, I'm gonna call it raw, real, ramble. Raw, real, ramble content. So 3R content. I'll have to come up with like a cool name, but that's kind of the tagline. It's gonna be raw, it's gonna be real, and it's gonna be me kind of rambling while I walk around the block in this Vegas heat this summer. So I'm adjusting my strategy, and I've been sharing that on social media. for the last couple of days, I've been talking about, hey, Monday I'm starting this new YouTube thing, and then I will update them on it. I might fall on my face with this thing, and a month from now I might be like, that was a total waste of time, but hey, I tried it. Or in a month from now I might quit social media altogether and just go all in on YouTube and be like, this is the best decision I ever made. I'm just going to update with the progress, update my community with the progress. And that's the thing. I try a lot of shit. I try a lot of things in business, different content styles. I mean, I'm testing different platforms right now, different YouTube and Threads and Facebook and all that. I would say I fail 90% of the time. But the thing is, I don't let that slow me down. If I fail, I just pick up and try something else. Try something else. And I just got to find like one thing out of 10 that works and literally quadruple down on it. In this YouTube the last week, with all the compliments I'm getting, all the nice comments I'm getting, which I appreciate it, I'm picking up 100, 150 subscribers a day right now. This is working for me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do more of this. A week ago today, I didn't have this thought. I wasn't thinking about going all in on YouTube. A week later, with all the comments I'm getting and sales I'm getting, I'm like, shit, maybe I should quadruple down on what's working. So all this to say, my content strategy is I do things in my life and my business, and then I share what I'm doing, and I share what I'm learning, and I share the lessons learned and the mistakes made. I share my wins, but I share my losses too. I'll share the screenshots and say, hey, I got 15 customers yesterday. Hey, I made $637 yesterday. But I'm also sharing the losses too. I'm sharing the fuck ups that I make, and I make a lot of them. I share refunds. Refunds are common when selling digital products. And I talk about those openly on Threads. Nobody else talks about refunds. Chargebacks, those aren't fun to get. They're not that, I don't run into chargebacks that often, but they do happen. And I talk about it, and people appreciate it, because a lot of people don't even know what a chargeback is. And everybody that sells a digital product has dealt with a chargeback, whether they admit it or not. And same with refunds. And you can say, oh, I don't offer refunds. You're still going to get refund requests. And if you don't grant the refund request, they'll push for a chargeback. And you don't want a chargeback. You'd much rather have a refund. So I talk about that stuff, the stuff that people don't like talking about. I talk about the mental struggles of it, and I share it, and I share things that I'm doing to try to overcome it. I walk every day. I walk 10,000 steps a day. It's not to fucking lose weight. I walk 10,000 steps a day so my mind's not all fucked up. I do 100 push-ups every day. I've done it every single day since May 1st of 2024. I don't do it to get like a big chest. I do it because I said I was going to do something, and I've committed to it for over a year. And that boosts my confidence. That boosts my self-worth. It makes me feel good inside. It tells me, hey, you do things. You commit to things, and you follow through with them. It's telling me, my head that, and then it tells the universe that. Another one, I'll be honest, is I've been telling myself I want to go to the gym since January 1st. It's May 25th right now, and I still haven't got a membership to the gym. So I'm telling myself, and I'm not doing it, which is like hurting my confidence. So that's how I create content. I go out and do things in my business. I might watch a YouTube video. I might listen to a podcast. I might read a social media post, and I'll go, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to try that. So it doesn't come from like buying stuff. It could come from like a course that I bought, but most of the stuff I implement, I see somebody talking about it on social media, and I'm like, huh, I'm going to give that a try. And I go try it, and I let my audience know, hey, I'm trying XYZ. And a couple days later, I update them. And a week later, I update them. A month later, I update them, whether I'm still doing it or not, why I pivoted or whatnot, But that's literally it. I go do things in my business. I share it with my community. I'm open. I'm honest. I'm vulnerable. It might not build the biggest audience, but it does build a community of people who buy your shit. So if you have any questions about selling PDFs, please drop them down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing daily videos here on out on YouTube, Monday through Friday, not Saturday, Sunday, but 5 days a week with this real, raw, ramble style content.